Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining already on time, being so punctual. My name is 𝘱𝘢𝘵𝘩, and today we have a really interesting and nice webinar on a very super important topic, robotics and artificial intelligence. And as you can see, I'm not alone. We have some guests from German universities who will be presenting relevant programs, and all of them will be on master level, but maybe for some of you it's also important, even if though you are interested more in bachelor, so stay tuned. Just quickly about rules. So you will see the Q&A button in the bottom of Zoom interface, and there you can send all of your questions throughout the whole webinar, and we will get back to them very soon. I would like to ask you to stay tuned until the end, because it is when our guests will finish with their presentations. Then we will have a short live Q&A session where we will address all of your questions that came to our Q&A section. Also, yeah, you cannot use the chat function. However, I would strongly encourage you to keep an eye on that, because there will be some interesting details which will be shared in the chat, some links, etc., etc. Okay, guys, so long story short, I'm the least important person today. That's why I will jump into already introducing to you our guests and our first speakers. So let me really quickly share with you my screen, and we can start. All right, so as I said, our topic is studying robotics and artificial intelligence in Germany, and we have several special guests. So our first guest is from Deggendorf Institute of Technology, with Stefanie Liegl. You can see her on the screen as well, and she will present master's again on program in mechatronic and cyber physical systems. It's a master program. Then we have Professor Dr. 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘆 from University of Lübeck, and he will present program in robotics and autonomous systems, also a master level. And we are also expecting our two other guests from Dortmund and Schmalkalden University of Applied Sciences, Mr. 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘆 and Kevin Rausch, and they will also present programs in, so Mr. 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘆 will present a program in automation and robotics, and Mr. Rausch in mechatronics and robotics, all of them also on MA level. Okay, so let's jump into our first guest for today. As I said, Ms. Stefanie Liegl. She's a program representative of mechatronic and cyber physical systems from Deggendorf Institute of Technology. And you can see also on the map, just to locate you, where are we right now? We are in quite south of Germany, very close to Czech Republic and Austria, really nice place. So let me stop sharing my screen right now and invite Ms. Liegl to the floor.
Hello everyone, warm welcome to this webinar. I'm really happy to present our master's program to you in a minute. I hope the screen can be seen. Basically, super, thank you, 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥. I'd like to welcome you to Campus CAM, which is led by the Director of Studies, Professor 𝘱𝑚𝑒𝑛. I'm the personal assistant to Professor 𝘱𝑚𝑒𝑛, and I'm also teaching myself on campus. So I'm happy to introduce you to the world of Campus CAM. Campus CAM actually is part of Deggendorf Institute of Technology, which is the mother campus. And you'll see a wide range of different campuses here. Now we have a sort of technological campuses which focus on different kinds of research. For example, Campus CAM is both a study location as well as a research facility. We focus on mechatronics, automation, as well as robotics. But we also offer study programs, which makes us really unique. There are also other campuses, which I don't even want to go into too much detail, because you can search it on the website yourselves and experience Deggendorf Institute of Technology. But just a few examples. For example, our neighboring health campus focuses on topics of global health. Teisner focuses on sensor technology. Spiegeler focuses on glass technology. It's a wide range of campuses available at your interests. And there are 3 teaching facilities in Deggendorf, basically Campus CAM, Deggendorf Institute of Technology itself, and the European Campus Hotel Inn. Now, there are also new technological additions to these campuses. They are coming by the years. So one addition was the technological campus of Vilshofen. which focuses on data security as well as cybersecurity. And another edition was 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥, which actually focuses on startup centers. Now, as I told you before, Campus CAM is special because it focuses both on research as well as studies. So the research part of the technology Campus CAM actually is comprised of three main pillars. This is additive manufacturing, as well as robotics, and last but not least, automation. You'll see different processes here. I can't go into much detail because we have a limited amount of time, but you'll see a wide range of processes available at the Technology Campus CAM itself, where our researchers conduct the latest research. And there are further labs to be set up, which I'll talk about later as well. Now, why should you study in CAM? Because actually CAM is a really rural town and with beautiful nature, but actually was underestimated for a long time because it's rural and it's small. But actually CAM is a hidden champion because it combines the technology campus with the state-of-the-art equipment, which I just showed you. Also, there is a digital startup center for aspiring founders integrated into the campus itself. So after your studies here, you can decide to become a founder and even get counseling on campus itself. Also, our lecturers as well as our admin staff are really approachable, owing to the short distances you have because it's all in one building. And also, you'll see that you'll find manageable group sizes on campus. You'll find that everything is based on 2 floors. So whether professors want to be found or not, you will find them. And you will find admin staff as well. We are very personal as well, which is very important to us. Also, we try to cater to the needs of the current global topics as well, which is why our technology campus actually produced face shields for medical institutions in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic. Also, you'll find that there are moderate living expenses in CAM in comparison to bigger cities like Regensburg, Munich, or Nuremberg. There are actually 8.43 euros you have to pay per square meter for an apartment in CAM, which is cold rent, of course, because there are additional costs as well for electricity and heating. But still, you'll find in comparison, this is a very favorable price in comparison to the bigger cities. Also, there is only a student union fee of 62 euros per semester. In comparison to when I studied in Scotland, I had to pay approximately £8,000 for my studies. So that was quite a huge amount of money, but you'll see that here you only have to pay 62 euros per semester and can focus fully on your studies and don't have to do so many part-time jobs by side. There is also a broad network of regional industrial partners you'll find on Campus CAM and the region itself. And if you're interested in that, you can click on the link below and basically find the Mechatronics Competence Network of Eastern Bavaria, which is a range of companies which support the Campus CAM as well as just provide advice. Here you'll see some impressions of our campus. Basically on the left-hand side, you'll find the Deggendorf main campus with the event Taste the World, where international students present their traditional dishes to us. And also you'll find the traditional day, which actually happened on Campus CAM itself before the pandemic, because you'll see a lot of people are gathered here together. We cannot imagine this in the amount in the basic times of COVID-19, but still before COVID-19, this was possible. So everyone wore their traditional attire and it was a memorable day for us. You have 3 study options on Campus CAM. You'll have a bachelor's program focusing on mechatronics, majoring digital production, the master mechatronic and cyber physical systems, which is our primary topic today, and also the master artificial intelligence for smart sensors and actuators. I'll focus on the topic in the middle today. So you might think, okay, cyber-physical system sounds interesting to me, but what does it actually mean? What is a cyber-physical system? You can either Google this definition here, or you'll see cyber-physical systems as the future worlds of machines, equipment, and devices which actually are networked with the virtual world of the internet and the cyberspace. You can find cyber-physical systems in all spheres of life. You can find cyber-physical systems at home. Maybe you own a cleaning robot, or you actually have an app which controls your light or your heating inside of your flat or your air conditioning. You'll find it in the transporting sector with motorized scooters or electric bicycles. You'll find them in the traffic sector as well, when you have a navigation device implemented in your car, which predicts, okay, there could be a jam coming up, and how can you circumvent this jam? So you'll see, actually, you know cyber-physical systems. You have met them on a daily basis in your lives. It's just the basic term which we're talking about here. About the program, there's a regular study period of 3 semesters to this program, and this program is highly popular. Currently, we are receiving over 1,500 applications per semester for this program. It's quite popular, and we are hosting approximately 25 different nations on Campus CAM itself, which makes it really international and diversified, and we are always aiming to attract more nations. You'll see that different columns which this program is based on. There are additive manufacturing processes involving 3D printing measures, for example, VR, AR, human-machine interfaces, cooperative and autonomous systems involving advanced robotics, and modern advanced simulation systems. Also functional security, so you have to make sure that the device you are actually constructing also is safe to work with. If you are choosing this program, you will later be qualified to work in different kinds of areas, which I'll also show you later. Also, you'll be equipped to apply quality assurance, research or teaching, to construct digitalized manufacturing and production systems, and so many more things. Here is the study content that actually is awaiting you. So you'll see in the first semester, you start off with the basics of advanced robotics, of cooperative and autonomous systems. You'll have your first case study. The second semester, you'll have further case studies. You'll have human-machine interfaces, AM technologies. And in your third semester, you only have 2 modules left because you are actually focusing on your master thesis as well as your master seminar. Now you might ask yourselves what a case study actually is. We have them integrated in 4 out of 7 modules to attract more practical relevance to this course, basically. So in order to go beyond the purely theoretical expertise we are getting to you, basically we try to achieve more practical elements as well. So we try to consolidate your personal and social competence as well, because you need to work together in groups, and also to expand your technical know-how. A further subject you will be having is a compulsory technical elective subject, where you can actually select 1 module out of a wide range of subjects, which we actually are trying to update each semester. And also we are working together closely with the Virtual University of Bavaria, which also offers a wide range of online courses, which you can also take. Now, I want to show you the first lab, which we have set up only for students. This is our innovation lab. Basically, our innovation lab is comprised of demonstrators of the Industry 4.0, and you'll find the 3 columns of design engineering, manufacturing, as well as quality assurance in there. So you'll see which devices we offer, and students can work in there on their case studies, for example, as you just saw, or as a student assistant, if we are actually offering the position, or even in your free time, if you are agreeing with that with our lab engineers. So this lab is only meant for students. Now, in order to get a more practical impression of what students actually do in there, I have given you 3 examples here. So one student project actually was comprised of designing a keyring, which you see here in this cat, which was designed in SolidWorks. And you'll see that this was printed in two colors and was released from our 3D printer. Now, the actual aim of this project was to optimize quality, to optimize the printing speed, as well as to print multiple objects at the same time. Another student project included automated guided vehicle systems, abbreviated as AGVS. And students designed this, implemented this, and then put it into practice. So on the right-hand side, you can see the initial test run, including light detection and ranging systems. And one final project I want to show to you is this one here, including a digital twin of a fan robot. You can see this robot here. And actually, this student tried to control the robot by hand gestures using deep learning. So this goes more into the material of artificial intelligence. Now, the aim of the student was to directly control the robot through his hand gestures. And later on, if the student succeeded, then basically you could implement this into collaborative working environments at the pick and place workspace, for example. Now we have a second student lab, which is our sensor lab. The sensor lab is comprised of sensors like microcontrollers, Arduino boards, and nano kits. Also, we have offered temperature devices where we can see how long a sensor can actually last. If we put it into chambers for temperature cycles, so how long does it take until the sensor has to be repaired or has to be renewed again? Then also we are using technical software, for example, Liegl software for circuit board designs, SolidWorks for 3D CADs, control systems, as well as data analysis functions. Our sensors can be found in a wide range of areas. I just mentioned a few of those. You'll have a brief look over them. I'm sure if you think about it briefly, you'll see that sensors actually are there in our everyday lives and that we might have not noticed them yet, but they are there. They are there every day of our lives. And I'll just show you that with one example, namely a car. We all know everyday life car. The next time you are standing in front of a car, look at it more closely and try to find the sensors of this car. So you'll see everything is a sensor here. There are speed sensors in this car. There's an ultrasonic sensor. There are reversing cameras, a video camera, radar sensors, infrared sensors. There is a multiple range of sensors which you can find in an everyday object like a car. So the next time you're standing in front of one, think about what I said and try to find the sensors. Also, our alumni are working in different fields. So I just mentioned a few of those I'm aware of. So they are actually working in the automotive industry, in material processing, in the manufacturing industry, including 3D printing, manufacturing, additive manufacturing, in the aerospace, medical systems, even quality control, product development, research and development, robotics, energy systems, hardware and software design, as well as customer care. So there is a multiple range of working areas you can later be employed in. This is just a small selection of those. Now, the admission requirements for this program actually are but 3. So basically, we demand a bachelor's degree in a relevant subject area. So for example, a relevant subject area might be mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, so anything related to mechatronic and cyber-physical systems. And you have to have 210 ECTS. If you only have 190 or 180 ECTS, there's the possibility to have these additional 30 ECTS accredited if you have done an internship or if you're doing further voluntary courses with us. The second requirement we have is a language proficiency in English of minimum B2, because this is an English degree subject, and also German language skills of A2, but these can be submitted by the end of your studies. So if you don't have German, a command of German at the beginning when you're applying, This is not necessary to have at the beginning. So you can still submit your German language skills at the end of these studies, because you'll have German compulsory language classes on campus. And the third criteria we have is an aptitude assessment. So this aptitude assessment basically tests you on certain areas we think are essential for this study program. These include higher mathematics for engineers, physics, electrical engineering, informatics, as well as control engineering. If you have a look at our website, you'll also find sample questions available. So you'll see how the test is constructed approximately. Okay. For the application period, basically, you have to know that this program is actually so popular that it's offered at 2 different locations. So in the summer semester, we offer this program at Campus 𝘗, where I'm working. So the next application period for the Campus 𝘗 is 15th of November to 15th of January. And more closely towards the date we are having today, basically the start of the winter semester in Deggendorf is the 1st of October, and you can already apply from 15th of April to 15th of July. This is exactly the same study program I just presented to you, only provided at 2 different study locations, alternatively based on the semester, basically. So everything is done online. You don't need to send us any written application documents, only submit your application via the online application process system, the Primus portal. You'll find everything you need under this link as well. And also your primary points of contact for the duration of the application process are Ms. Wittmann for Campus 𝘗, as well as Ms. Fries for Deggendorf main campus. Last but not least, I would like to mention a few points of contact on campus directly as well. So first of all, further information on our individual degree programs can be found here under Campus 𝘗 DIT. As a main point of contact for starting your studies on Campus 𝘗 for general questions, you can always write to this general email. And I am Stefanie Liegl. You can also write to me or to my colleague, Ms. Gill. If you're using this general email, then both Ms. Liegl and Ms. Gill are getting the same message. This is just if we are away on vacation, so that your inquiry can be processed as fast as possible. So this is it for Campus 𝘗, which is part of the Deggendorf Institute of Technology. If you're having any further questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ms. Liegl, for this wonderful presentation, quite informative and lots of important points touched upon. And yeah, there are some questions which I will not address right now, but I'm collecting them. And there are some questions, as I said, and I also texted our attendees in the chat. They will stay with us until the end when I open the live Q&A, and then we will address them. Thank you very much. And I also copied some of your contact details in the chat so that it's easier maybe for our attendees to copy them. So yeah, thank you very much. And now let's move to our second guest, Mr. 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥. Let me now introduce him, I would say.
Hello.
Hello.
Buonasera.
Hello, hi. Thanks for joining. Let me quickly show you what are we talking about now. So we are talking about Schmalkalden University of Applied Sciences. So Mr. Rausch is program representative, and he will talk about mechatronics and robotics. Again, we are sticking to the master's level. And you remember we were in very south, then we moved really to the north to Lübeck from Deggendorf, and now we are exactly really nicely in the middle of Germany. So we are traveling around Germany, which is really nice for you to know how it looks like. And yeah, let me stop sharing my screen here and invite Mr. Rausch to start his presentation. Don't forget to unmute yourself, otherwise, yeah.
All right then. Sure. Let's do this. I can totally do this. Give me just a second to open the presentation that I'd like to share with you. In the meantime, thanks for having me here, and hello to everyone. As Dorothy just said, I'm Kevin, the mobility coordinator at Schmalkalden University of Applied Sciences, and I will be very glad in a few seconds to start talking about our master program, Mechatronics and Robotics. Multitasking is not quite one of my major disciplines, but now I'm opening the PowerPoint, and okay, that's not the right one. This is the right one. It's just one slide, in fact, so no need to be afraid of some information overload with me here. F5. So let me share my screen, namely this one. I think now you should be able to see my presentation.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, as 𝘱𝘕 has already pointed out, Schmalkalden is located quite in the center of Germany. I assume our prospective students have never heard the word Schmalkalden before, and that's totally fine. Because yeah, in fact, we have some 20,000 inhabitants, so it's a rather small town situated right in the center of Germany, the so-called green heart of Germany, Thuringia. Schmalkalden is kind of famous for its small and medium-sized enterprises. For example, we have a chocolate company and a beverage company that produces something similar to Coca-Cola. And yeah, we have quite a large tradition in engineering and also tourism, because as you can see from the little icon there, we have those half-timbered houses all over our city center, which yeah, many people deem typically German architecture. So that's more or less what you can imagine Schmalkalden to be like. Also, you see, it says University Town Schmalkalden, and in fact, if you should come to Schmalkalden by car, then you will enter the town, and the entrance sign, it does not just say Schmalkalden, it says Hochschulstadt Schmalkalden, University Town Schmalkalden. So it's something that the city and the whole region are very proud of. So we were founded in 1902, back then as a manufacturing school for tools. But then, of course, over the years, machine production came up, and then when there were two separate Germanys, Schmalkalden, which was located in the former eastern part, would be a purely engineering school, university. And then after Germany reunited again, the local and regional authorities decided to maintain the study location and build new facilities, and also added more study programs. And so right now we are we're having the Schmalkalden University of Applied Sciences Hochschule Schmalkalden in its current form, with about 2,500 students and more than 60 professors. So you see the share of professors related to students is quite high, so chances are high that the professors will know your names when they see you on campus and so on. So that's yeah, quite a familiar atmosphere. Also, it says tradition, quality, and responsibility. Well, of course, those are some buzzwords that I could just say, right? And you can choose to believe or not. So I'd like to just briefly elaborate of what I actually mean by that. So the tradition speaks for itself, like more than 100 years of tradition in engineering disciplines. But that comes, of course, with certain responsibility, right? In order to maintain the standard that we've had, like in the early 90s. In fact, many factories from and companies from Western German regions would actively hire Schmalkalden graduates because they had a very good reputation. And yeah, we'd like to keep that up. That's our responsibility, and the quality is ensured by a system accreditation. So there's an external agency that yeah, always tells us, yes, Schmalkalden, your study programs run smoothly and they're organized and structured very well. And we hereby certify that to you. So that's that. We have 5 faculties: mechanical engineering, computer science, business law, electrical engineering, and business and economics. What you might be most interested in are the faculties of mechanical and electrical engineering, because these are the 2 faculties that jointly host our very successful master program, Mechatronics and Robotics in English language. So it's a cross-faculty offer, really. Students can choose to specialize in either mechanical or electrical engineering after doing the first semester together with everyone. And then it would be 2 semesters of disciplines more related to mechanical or electrical engineering. So here's a few words about our international relations and our internationalizations. You see that more than 600 of our students come from abroad. So the share of international students is quite high. I think it's really only beaten by Deggendorf, which is, as I heard, also present in this very the presentation here. Other than that, a very high share of international students with a rising tendency, in fact. So yeah, we are certainly driving a course of internationalization in our organization that is shown not only in the English-speaking master programs that we offer, but also in the number of exchange students that we host, and in other terms of mobility, internationalization projects, and so on. And we have like more than 160 partner universities all over the world, with which we run the principle of committed institutional partnership. So we actually see mobility and academic projects and research exchange and things of the like. And now just a few words on how studying and living in Schmalkalden are like. So I already talked about the institutional accreditation. Then even though we are quite an old university, yet refounded in the early 90s, all our facilities like the labs, like the library, like the machine hall and so on, they're very modern, in fact. And they all have yeah, very modern infrastructure in all those facilities, really. What's nice is that we're a small campus university, so all facilities are on one spot, one side. In fact, we even have a dormitory right on campus. So yeah, you stand up 5 minutes to 8, get dressed, and slumber over to the lecture hall, and don't miss your lecture at 8. So that's quite nice, the short ways that we're having here. In fact, we even have our very own train station on campus. So if you come by train, no need to walk a lot. You will immediately be able to exit with us. Yeah, something that's very nice, and that also holds for the majority of other public German universities, is that there are no tuition fees. That's certainly yeah, something that's very nice for foreign students, because yeah, try to find that in the UK or the US. Good luck with that. And yeah, it's because it's basically tax founded, right? The German education system, because yeah, it's I think one of the keys for our strong economy. What is special about Schmalkalden, though, is that the living expenses are also very low compared to the German average. So a month in the dormitory costs 170 euro, all utilities included. I think that's an unbeatable price. And you get a private room for that, and you only share your kitchen and bathroom with 2 other flatmates. And also the other yeah, living expenses are relatively low. So with 500 euro, you will definitely be able to spend your whole monthly expenses over, for a month. So then, if you want to study one of our English-speaking master programs, such as mechatronics and robotics, you can apply directly to the university. There's no need to apply via Uni Assist or anything of the like. I'm going to briefly share the link also for our portal in the chat in a minute. So yeah, exactly. So basically the application window is now open for mechatronics and robotics. And what you have to do is you're going to have to fill out an online application. And then you have to print that out. And you have to send it to us via post together with the accompanying documents, such as your a copy of your transcript and a copy of your degree certificate, certified copies, both of them, your passport copy of your university entrance qualification, and yeah, all these things mentioned on our website. And we're going to review these documents, and then 1 month after the deadline, which is the 15th of May, you should either receive your admission or rejection letter. Let's hope for it to be an admission letter, of course. All right, that's been Schmalkalden University in a nutshell. That was quick, wasn't it? And as promised, I am going to give you the link for mechatronics and robotics in the chat. I wonder, how can I, here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I'm really done with my presentation. But again, here comes the link. Mechatronics and robotics. And if you scroll down, you will see what is necessary for the application, right? The application form that I was mentioning, then your university degree, but your bachelor degree certificate, and your transcript, a proof of English language skills. That would be a TOEFL internet base with at least 80 points, or an IELTS certificate with at least 6.5, your CV, copy of your school leaving certificate, and your passport copy. And that's it. That's what you send to us, to the address mentioned on that website, whose link I just shared with you. And then, if you're lucky, in October, you're going to be able to live the Schmalkalden experience. So, Giorgi,
thank you very much, Kevin. Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So yeah, I think that the prices you mentioned regarding this dormitory, 170, this is really nice. Because,
yeah, 170 euro. Yeah,
170. Yeah, I also came to Germany as an international student, so I know some prices in dormitories in other towns. So this really, for me, this one is the cheapest I've ever heard. So nice. Thank you very much.
Let's call it the most affordable one.
Yeah. yes, most affordable one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will invite now everyone, our guests, to turn on their cameras, because we are going to have quite an interesting Q&A session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. And let's get started. Actually, I have been monitoring. The questions are coming, pouring in, but yeah, I collected some, and let me ask you some questions. Let me start with the one that is actually directed to all of you, to all of the programs. So I saw several times that people were asking specifically about aerospace engineering and mechanical engineering. So we have background in these two disciplines. Will we still be eligible for your programs that you have just covered on your master's? So with mechanical engineering and aerospace engineering, are we eligible for that with that background or not? Let's start with Stefanie Liegl. She answered this question several times. I saw it in the Q&A, but still, just to repeat for everyone.
Sure. Actually, many of our applicants are having the background of mechanical engineering, so that's completely fine. And in terms of aerospace engineering, you have to see how you perform in our aptitude assessment as well. So your background doesn't matter as much as your performance in the assessment test.
Okay, thank you very much. And Kevin?
So we in the administration, we first check for whether the formal application criteria are fulfilled. And if so, we send over the application to the faculty, either mechanical or electrical engineering, depending on which specialty the candidate has picked in the online application form. And the reviewers from the faculty will then check whether the student has had enough physics, maths, engineering disciplines, and so on in their bachelor program. And if so, they will say, yes, this student can be admitted to our study program. So it's a bit hard to say yes or no. It depends on the individual case. But if a candidate has proper background, then that will certainly work. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let's move to another question, again, to all of you, I would say, to all the programs. So the person asks, is GRE exam required for any of these programs? Let's start now. Ms. Liegl?
No, for us, it's only the aptitude test.
Only the aptitude test, thank you. And Kevin?
No.
No, very, very nice. So no GRE is needed. Okay, another interesting question is regarding the GPA. So is there any minimum GPA required? And if the applicant, for example, does not reach the GPA, is his or her application automatically rejected? Let's start with Kevin.
Yes, there is a GPA of 2.0 according to the German grading system. And yes, if the grade is worse, the application will not even be given to the faculty. It will result in immediate rejection.
Okay, clear. Thank you very much. Ms. Liegl?
Actually, we have observed the GPA before, but since we have introduced our test together with ProctorU, we are ranking the students according to the test and not so much on the GPA.
Okay, thank you very much. Regarding the GPA issue, just really briefly comment from my side, you can see in the chat, I posted the GPA calculators. There are two links that you can use because it was mentioned 2.0 GPA, but 2.0 is German system, not the US American system. That so it's sometimes confusing for students, so that you know in Germany 1.0 is the highest grade, and if you have for example 4.0 US system, which is really nice, in Germany 4.0 is really bad. So just to, yes, Kevin?
Brief comment on that. In our online application form, we have inserted an automatic calculator
nice.
with the modified Bavarian formula. So students just have to insert the actual grade, the maximum grade, and the minimum passing grade, and they will be immediately given their German grade. And if they see it's unfortunately not good enough, then they can just stop the application process without losing any more time.
Great. That's really comfortable and convenient. Thank you very much, Kevin, for this comment. And let's move now to some specific questions, specifically to the programs. Question for Schmalkalden. So good evening, sir. He said his name is Victor, and Victor would love to apply to Schmalkalden University of Applied Sciences. Meanwhile, I'd love to know if I can apply with attestation from my university, as I have studied with English language throughout my undergraduate studies. So your question is whether your English taught program is enough not to provide any further certification. This is how I understood it. Please, Kevin.
I understood the question exactly. The question is whether medium of instruction in the bachelor degree substitutes IELTS or TOEFL or similar English language proof. And the answer is, unfortunately, no. Medium of instruction is not accepted as a the English language proof. We have had candidates from certain universities and countries that were admitted on the basis of medium of instruction, and unfortunately, in many of these cases, their English level turned out to be very low, and so the faculty has decided to go for a stricter way and only accept IELTS or TOEFL, except of course for English native speakers. That would be an obvious exception. Let me briefly just also mention the deadline for Schmalkalden for mechatronics and robotics. It's the 15th of May. Okay, and intake would be, as I assume with the other universities, the 1st of October. And that is because it used to be the 15th of June, but since we have so many applicants from non-EU countries, the visa process sometimes takes an awful lot of time, and therefore we changed the deadline to an earlier date to allow for more time for the successful applicants to apply for their visa. That's why we changed for 15th of May.
Thank you very much. And before I move to a question to Deggendorf, let me here ask on the deadline just for everyone once again. So there's no separate deadline, because usually I see that there's a separate deadline for EU or German students and separate for non-EU students. But in our case, in all three cases, we have the same deadline for all these people. Is it correct? Okay. Yeah, all right, great. And now question for Deggendorf. You already addressed this question, but this is really interesting one. I just once again want everyone to hear that from your side as well. So was a question regarding Deggendorf and this program, whether the students can apply directly or do they need to use the services of UniAssist? Because this is really important, just to voice it up once again.
UniAssist is not necessary. You just need to apply via our online application portal, which is called Primus.
Great, thank you very much. And as Kevin already touched upon this interesting point on English certificate, let me ask our guests as well. So just to repeat, so if, for example, me, Georgi, I studied, my bachelor was totally in English for 4 years, so but not from English-speaking country. Do I still need to provide IELTS, TOEFL, or similar, or is it enough for me to come and to study?
Yeah, for Deggendorf, it's similar. So we also require a proof of English language skills. So the medium of instruction of English is not enough. Basically, we need IELTS or TOEFL, and you can acquire further information from our language center as well. I just type it in the chat.
Okay, thank you. So guys, as you could understood, if you are like I was, because I was also always, was an important question for me when I was applying to German universities, did I still have to take TOEFL and IELTS despite the fact that I completed my studies in English? So in this case, you have to. So get ready, start preparations, and check what are the registration dates, because this is really important. And let me ask also a question to all of you, because I saw this question several times. Is work experience in the field necessary to improve, for example, the quality of application, or it's not important at all for all the universities? Let's start with Deggendorf.
Basically, work experience, of course, is a benefit, but we don't assess according to your work experience. We have a majority of students who have never worked before or have just conducted internships. That's completely fine. So work performance is not an admission criteria for us.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Kevin?
Work experience will not be considered for the application review process.
Great, thank you. Now I see a really interesting question, and let me ask this one from our attendees. So, hi, can I apply without my degree certificate if my degree certificate does not arrive before the application deadline, but have completed the program? Thank you. So yeah, basically, I have completed the program, but I don't have the degree yet in my hands, but the deadline is already over. Can I still apply and provide the degree a little bit later or not? Stefanie?
I have seen many students uploading so-called provisional degree certificates, so that's totally fine to present if you ask your current university to provide a provisional certificate, and then once you are admitted, you have to provide your original one.
Okay, thank you very much. And Kevin?
Unfortunately, we do not offer conditional admission, so it is important that the application contains all documents as mentioned on the website in order to be admitted.
Thank you very much. And maybe for today, let's address another last question for all our guests. So yes, this person asked, there are such kind of questions, so that's why I'm addressing this. So the person asked, these people asked, is it okay if I do work part-time and study at the same time? Do you allow to do that, or there are some restrictions? Let's start with Kevin because he has some clear reactions that it's not like that.
Yeah, totally. Like students can definitely do a part-time job. In fact, if you're a non-EU student, with your visa, you will probably be allowed to work up to 120 full days or 240 half days a year. And for us, it's totally fine if you work next to your studies. Of course, work should not affect your studies, right? So if you have classes on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings, and that's probably the time where you should not be working. But for example, the weekend is definitely some time to work. And there are also some part-time opportunities in the region. Let me tell you, German language skills are not a requirement for admission to the Mechatronics and Robotics program here at Schmalkalden University. However, if you want to find a job, German language skills are definitely a great plus. So much ahead. So maybe if you still have like 9 months until you, or 8 months until you start your studies, so that's still enough time to download some language app and practice some German, even if it's not required for admission to the study program.
Yeah, totally agree with that with Kevin and Stefanie.
I can just agree with the speakers before me. So basically, of course, this is allowed to do in terms of the visa regulations to be upheld. But then again, prioritize your studies as well. So try to find a balance between your studies, your work life, as well as your private life, of course, because you also have to, take care of yourselves as well and not just study and work. Basically try to focus on absolving internships as well, because with internships you can maybe later get on with a master thesis topic as well. So try to focus on to companies more than you do on your part-time jobs.
Thank you very much. Let me now close the Q&A session, and let me make a small comment from my side. So guys, dear attendees, as you could hear the presentations and you could hear already answers, lots of answers to your questions, and I see there are 19 open questions left, but half of them were already addressed, to be honest, because there were some new upcoming ones, mostly about languages, etc., etc. I will tell you how we can deal with that, but before that, what I would suggest also, for those, we are talking today about master's programs, and tomorrow we have master's session, a session on master's programs. So for example, you want to apply to one of these programs and you want to know how to finance your stay in Germany. So it's also not, we would be waiting for you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Via Zoom. It will take 60 minutes and we will talk about some funding opportunities in Germany. So if you go to Lübeck or to Deggendorf or to Schmalkalden, how can you finance yourself? It will be useful, I'm sure, and you can scan the QR code and sign up for our Zoom meeting, and you can see also the URL. Yeah, so what I want to say now, thank you very much to our guests for wonderful presentations, for being so actively involved in Q&A and providing really clear, short, comprehensive at the same time answers. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for our attendees for being with us, for sending so many questions, for their interest. I see there are some questions which we could not address because of time limits, but as you could see, our guests are really flexible. They are waiting for your email, so you can ask them, send them your questions whether, of course, if they are related to a particular program, but if there are any general questions, of course, we from My German University are also happy to answer them. You can see our email in the chat, info@mygermanuniversity.com, or you can send us your questions on our Facebook or Instagram, whichever is more convenient for you, and we'll be happy to answer them. And yeah, also it's nice to get some feedback regarding today's webinar from your side. The direct links are also in the chat, and let us know what you liked or what you would like to improve when it comes to these types of webinars. All right, I will stop sharing my screen. I will once again thank you very much, and it was a pleasure. I enjoyed the webinar and hope to see you on our future webinars as well. Thank you and have a nice evening.